Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's just your favourite podcast, PODQUEENS. The podcast for Queensbridge by Queensbridge. In this series, we explore a different emotion a week. And this week, you might need to get your tissues ready because we are going to be looking at sadness. But don't worry, because it's such a sad topic, I've got one of the happiest, friendliest people I know to talk us through it. She's always there for you when you have a problem. You'll find her on the gate in the morning waving you into school. It's the one, the only Sam. In this episode, Sam and I will be discussing what is sadness? What happens to our bodies when we feel sad? Why do we cry? How do we beat the blues? You're listening to the podcast for Queensbridge, PODQUEENS. Sam, I'm so happy you could make it onto the podcast.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Clark. I'm so happy to be here, and here's a nice big wave back to you.
Oh, thank you. Now, we have an agreement beforehand that you're not allowed to just talk about Arsenal Football Club, so please remember that.
Oh, Mr. Clark, I'll try, but, seeing as we're talking about sadness, that ain't going to be easy.
Now, Sam, I don't know about you, but the world recently has got me feeling pretty blue. It feels like the world is collectively feeling quite sad at the moment. What's been your experience?
Oh, absolutely. This is not an easy time for anybody. One of the things I most enjoyed was seeing all the parents and children come through the gates in the morning, and I haven't been able to do that in ages.
Oh, I understand. Well, even though today's episode is about sadness, I've got a few things up my sleeve that might make it more fun than us just sitting here crying. Are you in?
Oh boy, I may live to regret this, but okay, I'm in.
Okay, but first, Sam, I know that one of your main jobs in the school is to help children with their emotions. What do you know about sadness? Why do we feel sad in the first place? Can't we just feel happy all the time?
Oh, Mr. Clark, I wish, but no, we can't feel any emotion all of the time. Our emotions are all transient, which means they come and go. So you may wake up feeling really sad, and then you get to school and you feel really happy, and then playtime you might feel really angry, then at lunchtime you might feel really anxious, and then you might feel happy again. It all constantly changes. The important thing is to recognise how you are feeling and to talk about them.
So, what affects our emotions then? Why do they change?
Oh, well, there are lots of reasons. All of our feelings and emotions are natural and are reactions to things around us. It can be different for different people. You might see Arsenal Football Club and feel anger, whereas I see Arsenal Football Club and see happiness.
Sam!
Okay, I'm sorry. The important thing to remember is that it's good to talk about our feelings, particularly with what we're talking about today, sadness. Sadness is a natural human emotion. Sometimes we know why we feel sad, and other times we're not sure why we feel sad, but we know we're not happy.
I think a lot of it can be to do with change, can't it?
Exactly. So right now the world feels like there's a lot of change in it, particularly for children who were going to school and now have to stay at home. And so this change can cause a lot of different emotions.
So what should you do if you're feeling sad? What top tips can you give?
Well, I think the first is to accept that you're feeling sad, and that's okay. It's good sometimes to feel sad, and it's also natural. Sometimes having a good cry is just what we need because it releases tension and relaxes us afterwards. It's a horrible feeling to have things bottled up. And actually, when we cry, we release a lot of different ingredients. We release excess stress hormones, toxins, mucus, salt.
Wow. So, how would you unbottle your sadness then?
Well, Mr. Clark, talking is a great start. It's Mental Health Awareness Week this week, and one of the main things that doctors advise is that you talk about your feelings to someone you trust. Other good strategies might be to make a list and write down what is making you feel sad. You might then want to write a list of things that are making you happy. At Queensbridge, we're doing our kindness week this week, and I know that doing something kind for someone else can make you feel happy inside.
That's so true. But what advice would you give for maybe parents who are listening as well?
Oh, certainly the same thing, but also to make sure that they're enjoying their time at home with their children and planning something fun to do each day. I actually think that one of the silver linings of the current sad situation we find ourselves in is that I get to be with my children more and spend time with them. Also, parents shouldn't be putting pressure on themselves to be Superman or Superwoman. We're all just trying to do our best.
Absolutely. And I guess also having a positive growth mindset can help people as well. I really like that word yet. So adding it to the end of a sentence can change its meaning. I can't do this yet.
Exactly. Our mental well-being of ourselves and those around us should always be our number one priority.
Well, on that note, I thought it would be fun if you took part in my happiness quiz. I'm going to give you 2 choices and I want you to tell me which one would make you happier.
Oh, okay, that sounds fun.
Well, wait till you hear the questions.
Oh, God.
Okay, question 1. Would you rather have to walk backwards all the time or bounce around like a rabbit?
Well, they both sound quite dangerous, but I would say bounce around like a rabbit.
Good choice. I once walked backwards for a joke and it did not end well, let me tell you. Okay, question 2. Would you rather only be able to eat pizza for the rest of your life or only be able to drink water for the rest of your life?
Well, I think I'd have to go with only be able to drink water, as that sounds like the healthiest option.
Okay, question 3. Would you rather get to spend every single day with Mr. Clark or have a season ticket for Arsenal Football Club for the rest of your life?
You really need to ask? That's so easy. The season ticket for sure.
No, I'm sorry, Sam, that was the wrong answer. I'm afraid you've lost this quiz.
What?
Okay, my next game. I'm going to give you 2 buttons. One sounds like this, and the other sounds like this. So I'm going to give you the names of some different foods, and I want you to tell me whether they make you happy with a sound or sad with a sound. So these are foods that people either love or hate. You ready? Sam!
Sorry, I'm ready.
Now, crisp sandwiches. Okay, coconuts. Mayonnaise and ketchup together. Oh, not sure I agree with all your choices there. Sam, I want to thank you for being on today's show and playing all of my games. I trust that you've had fun. Sam!
No, thank you, Mr. Clark. And I've been listening to your podcast series, and I know you like to end on a joke. But this time I'm going to end on a joke for you. Okay, here we go. Are you ready, Mr. Clark?
I think I'm ready.
Where do cows go for a good time?
I don't know, Sam. Where do cows go for a good time?
To the movies. Get it?
Well, on the strength of that joke, that's probably the last time you'll be hearing from Sam on this podcast. My thanks to her anyway. Join us next week when we'll be learning about embarrassment and even getting to hear some embarrassing true stories from Miss Whittaker and Miss O'Donnell. See you then!